Hey guys, what's going on? And thanks for tuning into Legatum Gaming. So again, it is another week of State of the Game. That means another update for you guys. So I'm going to be going through the update, what State of the Game released today on the 14th of September. So let me get started. As normal, I will try and narrow it down and give you guys the greatest picture in the most layman terms. So the first point they made was it's actually a free weekend. Starting tonight. I think actually quoted 7 p.m. So although most of you guys do play it, if you got any friends or anything that don't play it, and you did want to entice them into it, then by all means, get them to play the free weekend this weekend. Okay, the next point they made was 1.7.1 is actually going to be released next Tuesday. So this is mainly to fix the RPM glitch, which I mean you guys can know it's really, really annoying. However, what they did mention is they recently sent out another ban wave and will send out another additional one. Now, although they didn't mention the specific numbers in terms of the people that banned, I know I've certainly had a couple comments on my videos recently with the RPM glitch, you guys asking for a number. Unfortunately, I can't give you that, and they didn't actually quote numbers. However, good news. Now, I suppose the specific date which we wanted has actually been released. So, PTS 1.8. Now, make note of this date. It is September the 26th. So, like normal, what they always do is release it free for the PC. However, if you were on the PTS for 1.7, you're actually already in for 1.8. So for those people who were lucky enough to have a code for 1.7, you guys are automatically enrolled into 1.8. However, if you were unlucky enough to not get one, shall I say, then again, they will go through the random selection criteria. Now, they've not actually finished the criteria yet, and did actually mention, so at least they did kind of make note on that they did kind of screw up the last one. However, they did reiterate to go to the Ubisoft account and check to make sure that your email box is ticked. They did send out a lot of emails for 1.7, however, players couldn't get them because they didn't tick their Ubisoft account kind of email generator. Okay, now the next point is resistance. So resistance was mentioned, and a lot of people touched up on it. You know, just kind of ask what it was about. Now they did quote it's infinite, so there was a couple people that asked, you know, is there a certain kind of like benchmark or landmark that once you get to that stage, you kind of complete it? Like, is it completable? In a nutshell, the answer is no. So mentioned. In actually what they spoke about is that basically there's various waves of NPCs, which you guys would know. Now, however, what they did add in, which they didn't add in last week, is that for every 5 waves of NPCs, there will be a boss mode. Now, they did quote it's going to be kind of like an open world boss that will be in there. However, they did actually mention that like Leray Barrett can actually come in there and other missionary bosses. So that will be very interesting. They also mentioned it will be relatively the same kind of loot. So you can get exotics, you can get classified. So that's really good. So for those people who don't like PvP or actually don't like grinding the missions or incursions, there's actually another ways to get classified and exotics. So that's actually some really good news. And as you get higher through the waves, you go to higher tiers. So therefore dropping better loot. Now they did mention... for example, for each 10 waves you go, it's kind of like an extra tier level. So therefore, kind of like the 50th wave will therefore make you like kind of like tier 5, which is the highest tier, therefore the better chance of loot. However, it is infinite. So some good news for those people who want to grind some PvE. Now, I suppose the benchmark is new exotic weapons. So they said that there was 4 new exotic weapons. Now, although they didn't specifically give too much details, I can actually tell you they mentioned there would be 2 new marksman sniper rifles. Now, when the question was asked, are they bolt action? They did reply no, so my idea is they're going to be semi-automatic, which does kind of suck, in my opinion. However, they did mention that in 1.8, bolt-action rifles will be a lot better. So I don't know if that means kind of they're going to get a buff or anything like that. However, 2 new exotic sniper rifles. In addition, they're going to have 1 new LMG and 1 new SMG. In terms of the specific talents, what they have, or how they run, or how they look, or the RPMs, they didn't mention that detail. However, some good news in terms of new weapons. Now, I suppose the main focus, and they did spend a lot of time, was actually Rogue 2.0. So this is probably the most important bit I listened to for sure. I'm a big PvP fan, so let's get into Rogue 2.0. Now, they did touch up on the accidental rogue and the 19-second timers. Now, I did cover this off last week, basically saying there's going to be a tab. Which they have actually confirmed now. It's going to be at the D-pad, so you press up for those console players, and for PC players, I believe it was Shift and another key. So, for example, it appears you have to hold it down to go rogue. Now, they did reiterate they don't want it to be kind of like a softened Dark Zone, like, you know, you hold it down and people have like a lot of time to run away from you and stuff. So they did quote it's going to be like a 1 second thing. So I would imagine it's maybe the same time as cutting a rope or something like that. Just to add, cutting a rope still makes you go rogue. So probably the same time as cutting a rope will make you go rogue. Now, basically, if you're a non-rogue player and somebody goes rogue, or at least holds the tab down to go rogue, there's kind of like a warning that comes up on your screen, and you have maybe a split second to react to that. So the way they were doing that is so that basically people can't come behind you and just kind of drop you all the time, which, you know, it is what it is. I don't really think it makes that much of a difference, but, you know, so be it. That's the update, and that's what's going to happen. In addition, they spent a lot of time speaking about Manhunt, and actually there's going to be no timer on Manhunts anymore. They did mention about rewarding the people who go Manhunt, which I do totally agree with. You know, the XP you get does suck for a Manhunt, opposed to when you go Rogue and die, you lose as much as what you gain from going Manhunt, so I do agree with that. So, if you're Manhunt, you get objectives, which is random on the map. So what them objectives are, they didn't specifically mention. So, for example, I don't know if it's going to clear a landmark or defend a landmark, a certain landmark with waves for a certain period of time. I would imagine that's what it might be like. However, I can't confirm that. So once you get to level 5 on your rogue, which is, once you get to level 5 on your manhunt, which is additionally just 5 kills, that's the maximum manhunt level you can get. So level 5 manhunt. And then by doing this, of course, kind of like the objective comes up. It's a random place on the map, and once you complete this objective, it then resets your timer. In essence, finishing your manhunt, which I do think's a reasonable idea. I mean, you know, Jesus, it's better than those people go manhunt and then kind of run the whole length of the DZ and then kind of circle back and come back, and that's just boring. That's not good PvP. So this is a great idea. In addition to this, actually, it kind of almost flags up on the kind of rogue hunters, if you like, or the manhunt hunters. So although they again didn't specify what it looks like as such, they basically said that once the people with the manhunt clear level 5 and they accept the objective, then there will be a rough guide on the player's minimaps in terms of the rough direction of where they're going. So not only do the manhunts have to get to level 5, they have to then run to the specific area of the map. They then have to maybe defend it or complete the objective, and also fight off a lot of players. So it seems really, really good. However, if the manhunts do this, they did mention that they're going to get manhunt caches. So you actually get one manhunt cache per manhunt level you are. So in theory, you could get maybe five caches for the highest level of manhunt, which is really, really good. So that's a good idea. On the opposite side, if you're a rogue chaser or a manhunt chaser, if you like, you actually get bounty caches. So you actually get one of those for every manhunt you kill. Now, it doesn't actually have to be specifically for the ones you physically kill. If you're in a group of people and you're kind of interacting or helping kill the rogues, you will also be rewarded with one of the caches, a bounty cache. So as long as you're in the vicinity, you would get one as well. Now, we're almost there. The last couple points they mentioned is Banshee will be getting a major overhaul. Now, again, they didn't specifically say what it was. Didn't go into too much detail about it. However, it's going to be more tailor-made for the Rogue 2.0, and actually it's going to be really beneficial to your reward system. And basically, they're saying you got to run Banshee if you're in the DZ. So at least if you're in a group of 4, definitely run Banshee. All of this will be available on the PTS, so I did say earlier it's September the 26th. So hopefully, for you guys who have a code, I will see you on there. For those that don't have a code, then of course, let's hope that we all get lucky. In addition, and the last point, is a week after the PTS, on October the 3rd, the new global event starts, which is, of course, Assault. Now, although, again, they didn't kind of quote in too much details about it, that's just a date for you guys, so maybe for those people, those hardcore Division players who do book a week off work, then that's what it is. However, a general update. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, drop a like, subscribe, and you guys can get more content.